All right, so I think this is the as far as games go, as far as like prep go, like anticipation, anxiety games that give you a lot of anxiety, guys. Forget about we can't block this defense and this cornerback is
more
awesome.
Pressure on Matt Patricia in this game than there has been all year.
And I would say in any game that he has ever coached, in any game that he has been as a head coach, as a defensive coordinator, I feel like this game Sunday at 4:00 is probably the most, I wouldn't say important, right? But because I feel like it's the most stressful, anxiety-ridden games that he's ever been in his life for a couple different reasons. One being the one thing they asked, but you want to talk about, like who's on the other side calling offensive plays.
Josh McDaniels looks across the field and sees Josh McDaniels.
When he's not, he's sitting there watching his team, and because it's not a defense coordinator, he can actually watch it. And with everything that has gone over the last 2 to 3 weeks specifically, a team kind of like recognizing they have to jump in, a lot of pressure on him, a Thursday night game against Buffalo. I want you guys to come back in on Friday. Okay, 4 games left in the entire season and to make the playoffs. Like, I feel like he's probably not even sleeping. I bet he throws up before this game. Like, it's like one of those games where like you can't keep it in because you're so nervous. You're so nervous and uptight, you throw up.
How does he not have an ulcer right now?
Oh, yeah, that's an ulcer.
Seriously, yeah.
Actually, even better.
I mean, the level of stress and anxiety this man is under. And
it's not his fault.
Being on this,
yeah,
it's not
that's
his
my
fault.
point.
He can't do the job. He's not good at it.
And that's why.
However,
yeah, he's good.
This is one of the last remaining games that is actually winnable for you. I'm not saying it's an easy win at all. Like, I really do think that this team matches up poorly, especially to something that you've brought up, Christian. Like, we've kind of glossed over where we left off this Raiders team. We talked about it last week, that putrid loss that they had against the Rams with the final 2 minutes with Baker Mayfield going down. And whether it was Josh McDaniels doing the okay of his players being so loosey-goosey with the dumbass penalties that they had, and then having the press man coverage the very, very last drive and letting the quarterback who came into Los Angeles, 72 hours before, if that, score on you.
Bad.
And then, they're coming off a really bad place. They have nothing else to lose. They're playing with nothing to lose, the Raiders.
Yeah.
And that is a team you don't want to see.
I think we actually have some live footage of Matty getting ready for this game right now. That's just him. That's him getting ready for this.
That's just him. Because really, you got to let it all out. I feel like
let it out, Matt.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is it.
Yes.
This is it.
I know you're just a jag.
Tons.
Yeah, you're just a jag.
As a small example, take yourself back to last Sunday night when was it Monday night? I don't even remember. Sunday night or Monday night?
Monday night.
Yeah, take me back to Monday night where at the end of the game he's sitting down and he's not really charting any plays. He's not really game planning or anything. Like, the game's over and you could just and here comes Mac Jones with a big hug, and it's awkward too because he's sitting down and he kind of has to get up and he fake smiles. I can see the stress on his face.
Yeah,
he's breathing for the first time in 3 hours.
Okay, it looked ugly. It was terrible, but we won. So, okay, that gives me another week to figure this thing out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's so much about Mac Jones looking across, wishing he had Josh, and then looking at Patricia and being like, I was thinking about Matt Patricia last night. Just look going into this game. This is so when you look at it, the Patriots, a lot of people feel like they should win this game, right? I mean, the Raiders are a mess. Now they're getting Waller back and maybe Renfro back, but Renfro hasn't bet himself anyways. But still, it's a team that has potential to definitely beat you.
Team that has talent.
Yeah, to definitely beat you. But the reason why this is the most pressured game, obviously, is not just Josh, but it's a game that you should win. I don't think if you win this game, I don't feel you guys would you guys feel a ton of pressure playing the Bengals at home?
No.
It was kind of like the Jets game, that second Jets game. You got to win this game. Now going into Minnesota and then playing Buffalo, you're like, okay, you beat the Jets, but this team's probably better than you. So this game here, you should win. If you had just crap straightened out, you should win it.
You think? I don't know.
But more so that like next week, if they lose to the Bengals, we can be like,
you should lose to the Bengals.
If they win this
yeah.
game and lose out, we'll sit there and say, yeah, because the other teams are maybe better. But this team, you should go down there and win.
Here's the thing, and I think I saw Godchow bring this up yesterday, that if the Raiders take an early lead, I think you're really effed. I think you are really effed. Because the fatal flaw, or one of them, of this Raiders team is how often they've been up double digits going into the second half and just completely blown those leads. But the Patriots are in no way a team that can build a comeback. Like, they are a classic front runner. Turn that you love, Fauria.
Yeah.
Like, they can't come back. They cannot. They don't have the offense.
I agree. But the Rams, like, what
that was just
that
bad.
offense is like they had Baker Mayfield there for 3 days, like Van Jefferson, who was like a good number 3, but like they didn't have anything either. It's like no LA Ram fan that watched that team for like 12 weeks sat there and said they can come back and win this football game, right? I mean, maybe the Baker Mayfield made you feel it differently. So I agree with you 100%. I don't think this team can do that, but then I saw the Rams do it, and I'm like,
well, I would say that's an extreme example of an outlier. Like that,
it is.
Will never happen again.
Nobody
it was
feels good
arrogance.
Although it did happen like a few days before with Tom Brady. The same exact thing, the same exact score.
Yeah, but it's Tom Brady.
I know, but
it's more likely.
No. It's very weird. It happened twice.
If
in 1 week.
If you look at the whole situation with the Rams, he gets cut by the Panthers. It's a Thursday night game. He signs on a Tuesday. They have 1 day to install. He comes in there. They play. They actually, everything has to go right. They play the one coverage in this situation that he can actually doesn't need a playbook. It's press man with no safety help. They do it twice. So they get away with it in the first catch with Skoranek, who makes this unbelievable catch.
Yep.
And they do it again, and the guy they have covering Van Jefferson is an undrafted free agent playing press man with no help. You know, a high school kid can make that throw. So that's my point. So Tom Brady doing is like, well, it's Tom Brady. This situation, this will never happen again in the history of football.
I think one of the major questions is similar to after watching that Raiders-Rams game is going back to what we saw with the Arizona game. Like, can they outdumb you? Yeah. I know I said that last week, but just thinking about how undisciplined and scatterbrain Josh's team is, and he's a first-year head coach, okay, like, I think he will be okay. Like, he because of financial reasons, at least he's going to have to stay on in Las Vegas next season. I don't think they would have brought him and Dave Ziegler in if it wasn't at least, a moderately long-term plan to see what he could do over 2-3 seasons. This season has gone just about as poorly as it could, at least from the start. But I feel like it's going to be Belichick trying to find the buttons he can push and figure out the dumb aspects of Josh's team.
We had a stat last night. I did NBC Boston. I think it was, I want to say the number is 6-10. Belichick is 6-10 versus former, coaches, assistants, or whatever it is, right? Which is not good when you think of Bill Belichick's record. You know what I mean? So you try to figure out, like, why is that? Like, why does Josh McDaniels' Denver Broncos beat the Patriots? Why does Matt Patricia's Detroit Lions beat the Patriots? Like, you could say Tennessee was up and coming. We didn't know about it, in Vrabel. Then you got Flores. They lose to Miami all the time down there. But still, they controlled them, like 3 out of 4. So it's, what would that be? Like, how do you even explain that? Is it familiarity with Bill's style that gives you the advantage? Like, does Josh have an advantage going up against Bill? The numbers would say that he does.
Well, he knows the personnel probably better than anybody does, right? He knows their defensive personnel better. So that's an asset. So I would say, but overall, I mean, listen, they have enough footage and, games to watch where I think even if they didn't know, they can understand it. The key is the personnel. That's what I think the biggest asset is. Like, it's obvious what they do and how they attack certain things. He's smarter than people give him credit for. So I think that's not the problem, and I also think the asset is, Josh McDaniels' understanding of Matt Patricia and what he's trying to do. Like, and just that, what when he would take a chance, when he would not take a chance. So I think you look at it and you're like, all right, so the Raiders offense is obviously better than the Patriots offense. And then you go, well, the Raiders defense isn't great, but hell, the Patriots offense sucks. So who's got the advantage there? You know, and let's assume you get Waller back and you get Renfro back. Now what?
I always wonder, I always feel like Bill Belichick. Remember that one thing? What was it? I forget what year it was. It was like, Jesus, if they take away Moss deep and Welker underneath, we can't move the football. Like that quote.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he always kind of has that, shares it with his coaches, because that's what you do. You sort of sit there and say, okay, defensively, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to hope that when we do this, he knows the weakness of everything. When we do this, we are weak right here. But if we get to the quarterback enough, he won't even see it. Or, we can mask it, even though, so you always know where your weakness is. Like, if Bill would attack his own offense or his own defense, I think he would know how to attack it. Because it would just be like, we're putting these guys in position. It's like a hitter. It's just sort of like, I'm looking outside. I'm susceptible to a fastball in. I'm with 2 strikes. If I know that enough, that's where I go to you, because I played with you for years. And I wonder if he shares that to the coaches to the point where, it's like, yeah, I know. When he calls this, I know what that weakness is. Well, when they run this play, I know the one defense. Hopefully, they don't run this defense against this type of offense, because that would shut us down. I wonder if that information is with some of these ex-coaches, that inside stuff, because 6-10. I mean, the guy's record is ridiculous.
Well, and if
it's 6-10 versus coaches.
I think if it's going to be an advantage for anyone, it's definitely going to be McDaniels, because McDaniels even recently has spoken about how much Bill walked him from between when he was out in Denver to when he left after last season, how much he walked him through every aspect of what he does with the team, from the way he drafts, the way he operates in free agency, the way he coaches day to day and on game day. McDaniels has a fuller picture, I think, of that than a lot of somebody like Brian Flores, who had a lot of respect from Bill Belichick, certainly. But I think McDaniels was really a lot closer than some of these other coaches that he's faced.
Let's go to a phone call. We'll go to Scott in Shrewsbury real quick on the Pats. Go ahead, Scott.
Hi, folks. Whatever pronoun you want me to call you by.
That's good.
So, good. Okay. So I don't think it's all that hard to figure out whether the Patriots are going to make it, at least from my point of view. I figure 9 teams, you're going to get a 9-win team out of the ones that are left. Somebody's going to get to 9. So they need 9, and let's give them the advantage and say, okay, guys, you beat Oakland. Vegas. If you just look game by game, you can't really tell yourself that you think you have even a good chance in any of the games.
Right.
We're going to lose to the Dolphins. We should lose to Cincy even more. And Buffalo completely. I mean, last time they played us, it was like child's play. It's like they were taking it easy on us. And so
I agree with that.
There's no way they're going to make it. Forget what the other teams are doing and who might beat who and what. We're going to win, I hope, this next game. And that's it. Season's over.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. And I think that's kind of realistic. I think when you really think about it, they need to win this game to stay in it. And then at 8-6, you got to find a way to win one of them.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
You got to find a way to either beat Cincinnati, beat Miami, beat Buffalo. You got to find a way. You got to get to 9, because the tiebreaker over the Jets helps you. You know what I mean? And then you still got to worry about what the Chargers do. But you got to get to 9. You got to beat one of those last 3 teams. You got to go 2-2.
This is just funny.
I don't know if you can.
Ryan just sent me this about
Ryan sent you something funny?
No, well, it's interesting. The record is 6-10. So,
actually.
Actually. Yeah, actually.
But that he's told me too. That's kind of deceiving.
No. But all I see. So he's got all the coaches, right? And the only thing I see is Matt Patricia 1-0 against Bill.
Yeah,
it's like, out of all the guys to beat you, out of all the coaches, this is the one that beat you.
Well, the funny thing is that number he sent, it was since 2018.
I think it's an interesting way to look at what the former Patriots have done against Bill Belichick, but to say it's former coaches, guys that have learned under Bill Belichick, it's a little misleading, because Mike Vrabel, Cliff Kingsbury, and Kevin O'Connell were never on this staff.
Right.
But that's where I think that Josh McDaniels has such an upper hand on this.
But if it's only 2018, I thought this was a thing that went back a long, long time. Mangini?
Oh, this is just the last 16 games.
McDaniels the first time?
It's actually worse.
Mangini, what's his name? The defensive
Romeo?
guy. Romeo Crennel?
I don't think he's ever beaten Bill, though.
But
That's
Mangini beat him when he was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That was the, what's his name? The guy that ran for 200 yards.
The big fullback that looked
white
like
guy.
Mike Allstat.
Peyton Hillis.
Hillis.
Right, that's
so
right.
that
Another
goes
white
back to that.
running back.
And also in New York. So this, that's since 2018. You could question whether you want to consider Cliff Kingsbury or O'Connell, Vrabel, an ex-coach. But this has been going on for some time.
Like Brian Flores, 2-4. Like that's I mean these numbers. Bill O'Brien 1-1, Mike Vrabel 1-2, and Josh McDaniels has already done it once before.
Yeah.
weird.
I don't know if it's
weird.
just the only
Teams sound better than their team. You know, I mean, you could say that Vrabel's were at times.
So even when you talk about it's the battle of the dumbest team, right? It's like one of those things, the battle of the dunces. Call it that. Even with penalties, so the Patriots, what is it? The Raiders have 86 penalties, and I think the Patriots have 80. They get that right, Ryan? So
yes.
It's not like a huge discrepancy. They both are guilty of doing the same thing. Like both teams, sure, the Raiders may have more penalties. It doesn't matter. Anything over 80, anything over 70 is pretty embarrassing.
Let me go to a call real quick. Let's go to Rob, in New Hampshire. Go ahead, Rob.
Hello. How are you all?
We're good, pal. Thank you.
I was cooking and trying to wait for the line. I got a couple things. I've been to the shows back with Tim Benz. That's how far back I go.
Yep.
Christian, my nickname for you is DJ Dunsky. I stayed up all night with you through your 25 or 25.
Look at you, Rob.
Nice.
Wow.
Lou and Christian, your wives are absolutely beautiful. Mego, I love you. Your boyfriend is lucky to have such a wonderful girlfriend. I have two sort of quick jokes. They're both very good. Well, they're clean.
Go ahead.
Mego, how when does Mego? There's a couple of ways you can introduce it. When does Mego become a Spice Girl?
Ooh, I don't know when.
This is a reference. When she gets angry. Because what's her nickname when she gets angry?
Angry Mego.
No.
No?
Nutmeg.
Oh. All right. I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
creative.
Dad jokes. Okay. Give me another one. You had another one. What's the next
I
one?
got my,
You're talking to your dad.
My final thing, and it goes to Christian Arcan. Yeah, Christian Arcan. The very first time I ever called EEI, the person who answered was Christian Arcan. So I lost my call-in virginity to Christian Arcan. And the funny part is,
I wish you hadn't
when I
said it like
heard
that.
What's that?
You lost your virginity to Arcan. Got it.
And he was very gentle and kind, and I was glad. I was scared at first, but I'm glad I called. Anyway, the final part is when I first heard Christian Arcan, I thought that was a drug to help Christians when they overdosed.
Rob, you're the best.
I like the nutmeg one.
Thank
That's
you,
the
pal.
one I like the best.
appreciate it.
You don't
Oh,
like
Narcan,
that
I get it. Narcan.
Narcan. Yeah.
Narcan.
That's good. Nutmeg.
Dad
Christian,
jokes.
why are they selling that lawn?
Who's going to sell their yard?
gonna buy a
yard
garage?
I
sale?
thought it was talking to your dad. Let me tell you another yard sale. I
Yeah.
don't understand. Why
Oh.
would you sell your yard?
I know. He gets a little bit of a chuckle. He's like, wait. Oh, I got one more. No, you
Ratzo
don't.
damn near killed him.